going on, you lot? I hope you're all well. Now, I was in two minds about whether to do today's recipe. No one's asked for it, it's not particularly traditional, and I think it's probably going to upset more people than it pleases. But I love it, I think it's incredible, and that's pretty much the only reasons I needed to share it with you today. So here it is, the world's best mac and cheese that you're probably never going to make. Let's go to the table. So here we are at the table, and the first thing we're going to tackle is the white sauce. The bechamel, or the cheese sauce, or the mornay. I mean, it doesn't matter what you call it, it's what we're tackling first. At its most basic level, the white sauce is made up of 3 ingredients: butter, flour, and whole or full fat milk. But we don't just want basic, we want to make a few stops in Flavour Town while we're on this journey. So we're going to start off by adding a few aromats to our milk to give it a real shot of flavour right in the arm. To boost our milk, the star players are an onion, carrot, and a shallot, all roughly chopped, along with a clove of garlic, some fresh thyme and a bay leaf, along with a teaspoon of black peppercorns and some nutmeg, which I will grate in with reckless abandon. So place that all into a large saucepan and cover with a litre of milk, and then go to town with the nutmeg. Now it's time for our second stop in Flavour Town. If you have any leftover rinds from any hard cheese you may have had, keep hold of them for this very moment, where you can chop them up and throw them into your milk. Now it doesn't really matter how many you have, if you've only got one, just throw it in there. Put that useless rind to work and give this sauce an extra cheesy boost. Once you've added all your flavour friends, because you don't have any real ones, bring the milk to the boil. Once it's simmering away, turn off the heat, cover the lid and leave to infuse for at least 20 minutes. An hour if you've got it, and it can even be left overnight in the fridge, but honestly, do you have that kind of time for mac and cheese? I don't think so. Once the milk is infused, strain it to remove all those flavour fiends and push them gently just to extract every last little bit of flavour they have. Then discard them because they've got nothing left to give. Strain the milk through a fine sieve to remove any big herbs or peppercorns that may have slipped through, and then put it to one side while we get the sauce started. Melt 50 grams of butter in a large pan over a medium-high heat, and once that butter is foaming away, add 50 grams of plain flour and mix everything together to create your roux. Cook the roux out over a gentle heat for 2 or 3 minutes, stirring all that time. We really don't want this to brown, that way we keep our sauce nice and white. Then start adding your milk to the roux bit by bit, stirring well between each addition. This whole lot is going to thicken up quite a bit after the first few additions, and it's going to look like a bit of a dough. And you're probably going to start to panic, but trust the process. Keep adding the milk bit by bit, stirring well between each addition until the mix is smooth. And I promise you, you're going to end up with the smoothest, cleanest looking little white sauce you've ever made. So hold your nerve, do not dump it all in there at once unless you want lumps all over that sauce. Once the milk is in, bring the sauce up to the boil and simmer for 2 or 3 minutes to help thicken the sauce and cook out the flour. Now while that's going on, you can get your cheeses organised, and we're going all out with the triple combo of cheddar, Parmesan and mozzarella. So once the sauce is simmered, add the cheeses to the pan and turn the heat right down and stir everything together until completely melted. Then taste and adjust the seasoning, and that's it, your cheese sauce is ready to go. Put it to one side while we move on to the next part of our mac and cheese. Now let's talk about pasta. First things first, I think macaroni is bullshit. It's a garbage pasta and I don't like using it. Just look at it, it's ridiculous. So I'm going to swap mine out. I'm very fond of rigatoni and I think it makes a damn fine substitute. And I mean, you can use penny in a pinch if you want, but I'm not using any of these. I'm going to use this lumache rigate. These grooved little snails are the perfect sub for macaroni in any dish. They're cool, they're fun, they're tasty, and we're using them. Now I thought I'd jump in here for a second just to let you know it's about to get a little bit weird, but it's okay because you're never actually going to make this mac and cheese recipe anyway, are you? In a large pan, melt 150 grams of butter and heat until foaming. Then add 275 grams of our groovy snails and start toasting them off in that butter. This isn't a long process, so keep an eye on them, stirring them regularly in order to brown the pasta all over, but obviously not to burn them. Do you have to do this? No, you don't. But we're layering flavour right now, and browning that pasta in the butter is just going to impart this rich, deep, nutty flavour into our mac and cheese. Once nicely coloured, remove the pasta and drain the brown butter from the pan. Add that butter to 50 grams of dried breadcrumbs, I'm using Panko here, and mix everything together. Spread the butter coated breadcrumbs over a baking sheet and bake in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for 10 to 15 minutes until rich golden brown like this, and we'll use them a little bit later. Now back to the pan. We're going to add 150 grams of diced pancetta. I like the smoky variety personally, and we're going to cook it out over a high heat to render out the fat. Once the fat's coming out of the pancetta and it's taken on a little colour, then we can add 2 diced shallots and continue to cook the whole lot until soft and golden. Then we return our brown pasta to the pan and give everything a good stir together. Alright, it's about to get weird again, but remember, you're never going to make this mac and cheese. Introducing hot beef stock. Yes, we are cooking the pasta using beef stock to really pack in those flavours. I'm using the same technique that you would see with risotto, adding the beef stock a ladleful at a time, bringing it to the boil and cooking the pasta gradually. All the while the stock is reducing and intensifying that beefy flavour, meaning that once the pasta is cooked, we're going to have the most amazing, deep, rich, meaty flavour going on in this mac and cheese. It is truly special. Keep repeating this process of adding stock and stirring, adding stock and stirring until the pasta is just cooked, soft and al dente. Place the cooked pasta into a large bowl and add that cheese sauce you made a little earlier and mix everything together carefully, almost fold in that pasta. Then transfer that cheesy pasta mix to a large baking dish and spread it out as necessary. Sprinkle over the remaining cheddar, Parmesan and mozzarella and finish it off with those golden breadcrumbs we made earlier. I mean, come on, look at that. Stick it into the oven at 190 degrees Celsius until golden brown and bubbling away. The end result of this mac and cheese is second to none, and if you bring this to the table, you've basically just won dinner. I thought I would show you what we're up against when it comes to mac and cheese. Here's a shop bought version, which I think we can all agree, it just looks sad. Looking back at the footage now, I don't think we really had to go this hard in order to beat it, did we? There is definitely no comparison, but we're here now and it has been totally worth it. Now all that's left to do is serve up this cheesy bastard, and if you want to go even further into Flavourville, why not drizzle some reduced beef stock or demi over your mac and cheese before you eat it? Oh, that's right, I forgot. You're never going to make it anyway. Wow, that mac and cheese is something else, right? Not only is it beautiful and golden brown, it is deep and rich in flavour. Now, I wasn't super happy with some of these final shots. I guess I dicked around too much with the filming and then the mac cooled down, so I didn't get any really decent cheese pull shots at the end. But I mean, you saw how much cheese goes in there. You can trust me, this definitely pulls. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this recipe and you want to see more, just like it, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and go and check out my other stuff. Hit me up on Instagram. I'd love to see what you guys are getting up to. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that other algorithm bullshit. I will see you in the next one.